Hello everyone, it's Lindsey. In last week's video, I discussed cultivating habits of self-awareness and strategic planning as crucial and foundational first steps in creating and achieving any new goals you set for yourself in the new year. In this week's video, I'm sharing ways that I'm being more intentional in my planning for the goals that I have in my life in 2022. Strategic planning is often overlooked in goal-setting approaches in favor of just jumping in to any new routines, be they eating habits, exercise routines, financial goals, and the like. But as I have observed habit change and studied it over the last few years, I've come to understand that to grow in any area requires deep intention, honest self-reflection and awareness, and strategic planning. So having said that, let me give you an example of the ways that I'm starting to plan for the ways that I want to grow in 2022. I used to be someone that really resisted planning. I was never able to get past the to-do list phase of planning. I always got stuck there. But as I've gotten older, and as I have a young child now, I find myself constantly marveling at how quickly time passes by. I'm sure I'm not alone in this. And I find myself, as the year creeps to a close, year after year, really kind of noticing a little bit of grief and regret over the unmet goals that I still have on that to-do list, that never-ending to-do list. But I'm learning that any new habits that I wish to cultivate must be intentionally planned to fit into my life. They're not just going to happen by chance. The constant demands of life and just old patterns of being, our old habits, will always overshadow them. So we have to strategically plan for the goals that we would like to meet, for the habits that we would like to create in our life. I'm going to share a list in the blog of a list that I've created for the ways that I want to grow this year, for the things that I would like to plan into my day that are going to meet needs that feel unmet. But for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to share one of those areas, one of those sections with you, and that will be the area of heart. So this is the list that I have created for heart nourishment, as I'm calling it. So daily reading with a cup of tea when my child goes down for a nap. I find myself really longing to read more books. And at the end of the year, I'm always a little bit bummed out by the books that I let slide. And a lot of times when my child goes down for a nap, it's so easy to want to scroll social media or sit down and have a snack when it could be an opportunity for me to just sit down for 15 minutes with a cup of tea and read a book. And it's something that deeply nourishes my soul. So every day around 2 o'clock when my child goes down for a nap, that is something that I'm going to put in place. It is on my calendar at 2 p.m. Read a book with a cup of tea. The next thing is morning reflection, first thing in the morning. It's so easy to wake up and want to reach for your phone, to check your email, scroll social media yet again. So many things that we are letting slip by because of social media. So first thing in the morning, I have my routine. I wake up, brush my teeth, I drink my large glass of water, and then I sit down to a little bit of devotion, reading, and potentially a little bit of writing if I'm feeling inspired. The next thing is more time in nature. I have this just deep need to be in expansive places that are a little bit more quiet than what I can find in my neighborhood. And there is a park where I live that allows me to have that need fulfilled. So once a month, I have an appointment near that park, and I know that I will be taking myself and Callie to enjoy more time in nature. And it is in my calendar. It is something that I am intentionally planning for and will do at least 11 times this year because we've already done it this month. Another way that I intend to nourish my heart and soul is to explore the arts more. Once a week with Callie, we sit down and we do an artist study where I show her a picture from an artist. And really, we just talk about the colors and the images that we see. But we are studying artists like Van Gogh, for instance, this month. And it helps me to explore more art, dive a little bit deeper into the life of artists, and bring art activities into my child's life. So each of these items are set appointments, if you will, on my calendar. I know that every morning when I wake up, I'm spending a little bit of time in quiet reflection, first thing in the morning. I wake up generally around the same time every day, so it's not necessarily anything in my calendar. It's just something that I have to have the self-discipline to do every morning, to get out of the habit of reaching for my phone to check the day's work, and to just get up, run through my morning routine, and then sit down, enjoy a cup of coffee, and do a little bit of reading and reflection and devotion. I know that after breakfast and after getting ready, Callie and I are going to sit down to do an art activity for the most part every day. We're going to study a little bit about the artist. We're going to explore colors. We're going to explore objects. I know that once a month when I have a recurring appointment that I'm going to be going to the park and I'm going to be feeding my soul and I'm going to be enjoying quiet, and my daughter is going to get to explore and use her imagination out in the woods. So these are just little ways that I am trying to nourish myself, to bring some pleasure into the ordinary and sometimes hard moments of our day. And this is something that you can do for all of the areas that you would like to grow in. So again, for me, I'm creating lists for ways that I would like to grow in heart, body, and mind. And you can see those lists in the blog post. And I would love to hear from you. In what areas are you looking to grow this year? What might be an item on your list? If you need any help kind of coming up with a way to strategically plan, let me know in the comments. I would love to chat with you about this. What do you need this year to feel less drained, less stressed, less fatigued, and just more passionate about daily life? Create those lists and share them with me. And the final piece of encouragement that I would like to leave you with is to make plans based on who you are. Your passions, your pleasures, your strengths, your weaknesses. Try not to fall into the habit or routine of just taking on someone else's list. Be you. Be free in who you are, and be honest about the things that you need and that you want to cultivate this year to live a more sustainable life.